Get your joy up, embrace this brand new day. Let light and love fill you up. Get your morning cup of jubilee. So much goodness waiting, so much overflow. All this anticipation. Morning cup of jubilee. Faith, love, and joy, the equation. Feeding your soul, you're amazing. Daily you're celebrating. Morning cup of jubilee.
Good morning. You've tuned in to Morning Cup of Jubilee. I hope you've got your mugs, your cups, your tumblers. Go ahead and listen to today's play of the day, and we'll be right back.
Good morning. I can see you in my side mirror. What do you need? I just wanna see the light. I'm tired of worrying all my life. Forward only, don't look back. Bring me the things that I like inside of me. Just be my peace. And your love was real. Just be my peace.
I hope you enjoyed today's play of the day. Go ahead and support by downloading, streaming, and purchasing the song. The link is in today's description. Today's episode is dedicated to my sister, Mandy. Let me tell y'all something. Ain't nothing better than having a ride or live. I ain't gonna say ride or die because I want us to be here a very long time. And that is my sister, okay? She will get a bunch of chickens to chase you down into an alleyway if you bother me, okay? And it will be silent, so you will not hear them coming. And those chickens will peck at your ankles until you leave me alone. My sister is so supportive and so encouraging, and she don't play about me. And that's not even a statement that I use often. But Mandy, I love you. Thank you for being such a calm, soothing, and rawr force in my life. I love you. Time for today's sip of inspiration. Today's episode is entitled How I Healed. How I Healed. And my belief around this is that healing is intentional. Now, there is a quote that goes around and it says that time heals all wounds. I disagree. I don't think that time heals anything unless you are working towards using that time to do a specific thing. Right? So if somebody says, hey, I'm going to run a marathon, then there are some actions that we would expect to see that person engaging in so that they can do well in the marathon, right? Get up early, 5 a.m., do your runs in the morning, do your cardio, your weight training, all the things that are necessary to train to be a part of the marathon. And I think that healing is the same way. In order for us to heal, we have to be intentional about it. And so the first thing that I would share about how I healed is that I had to make sure that I had the right mindset. My mindset was simple, and you will hear it in the song Good Out of Bad, which is available on Apple Music and Spotify and all the other digital streaming platforms, that I wanted to be better, not bitter. Mindset is key if you're going to heal, right? I wanted to be better, not bitter. I knew that I could not control anyone else's actions outside of my own, nor did I want to control anyone's actions or anyone else's actions. And so better, not bitter. That's first and foremost. And then secondly, I needed to make a regimen. And so if you recall, in one of the previous episodes, I talked about while recording Joy Uprising, my sons and I, we moved back into daddy and mother's house, and I was sleeping on the couch, sleeping in one bedroom with my sons. It was like a really challenging time, but at least I knew I was in an environment of love. I was surrounded by love and support, right? But the house was full. It was all of us. We were all in the family. And so I needed to carve out space where I could process what was happening to me. And so I decided to create a Wellness Wednesday for myself. And so on Wellness Wednesday, I would turn my plate down. I would go to Starbucks, have my laptop, my journal. I'd be reading books about healing, things that were uplifting, things that reminded me about how loved I was and how prosperous God made me to be, and give me tips on single parenting and all the things. Anything that was going to feed my spirit and give me tools and strategies to make it through the journey that I was currently on. I also would spend time writing my book, Crisis in the Crown, which is available on Amazon, right? And that is how I used my Wednesdays. Every single Wednesday, I also had my therapy sessions. You all heard me shout Dr. Felder out in another episode. And so I would go plop down on her couch willingly, gladly, every single Wednesday and share what was happening and hear wise counsel from her. And so that is how every single Wednesday went. Sometimes I would swap out going to Dr. Felder to going to get a massage, or taking a long drive, or walking by water, or spending a day, in prayer. All of these things were tools that supported me in my healing journey. I decided that if I was going to be better, not bitter, if I was going to become a more authentic, truer, more beautiful version of who I was, then I would have to be intentional and I would have to stick with it. I would have to have some difficult conversations first with myself and then with others. And so that is today's sip of inspiration, right? Be intentional about your healing, and you will make it through that process and go from healing to wholeness. You've been tuned in to Morning Cup of Jubilee, where every drop uplifts, inspires, and restores. Join us next week, Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. See you next time.